Jaguar, a name that used to scream British luxury, fast, elegant and cool. An S-Class would be comparable to an XJ back in the day. But somewhere along the way they vanished, sales tanked, models got caught, and now Jaguar's talking about a complete rebrand. So what happened? It all started in the 1920s, but when it really started is when they released the XK120 in 1948. It was the fastest production car at the time, then the Mark II, and then the big one, the E-Type. In 1961, Jaguar revealed the E-Type, and it completely stunned the world. Even Enzo Ferrari, who didn't really give compliments at the time, called it the most beautiful car he'd ever seen. Jaguar wasn't just good, it was glamorous. It won Le Mans, built cars for royalty, and became a proper symbol for British engineering, and people wanted them not just in the UK but everywhere. As the 70s rolled in, things started to go sideways. Jaguar was dragged into British Leyland, which was a nationalisation of many British companies. Build quality took a huge hit and reliability was all over the place. The car still looked amazing, but inside had bad electronics, leaky engines and parts that fell off. People still held onto the brand and there was a loyal fan base. It became clear that Jaguar was struggling with their financials and needed to be private. They was floated off as a separate company in 1984 with many jobs cut and prices raised. Fast forward to 1989 where Ford steps in. They buy Jaguar and pump in some more cash. Ford helped improve their reliability and build quality. They built some nice cars like the XK8 and the XJ. They suited Jaguar a lot with big V8s. But then cars like the X-Type came. It was basically a rebadged Ford Mondeo, had a lot of Ford parts in it. Customers felt like the brand was losing its exclusivity. They were chasing BMW and Mercedes, but they ended up blending in with other cars instead of being unique. Jaguar never made a profit under Ford's ownership. As a result, Ford decided to sell Jaguar in 2007. In 2008, Ford sells Jaguar to Tata Motors. Tata gave Jaguar some breathing room. They injected some cash and Jaguar came out with the F-Type in 2013. It was a real Jaguar. It had a good engine, good noise, real styling. Jaguar also came out with an XJ refresh in 2010. It was sleek and modern. It came with a digital cluster which was one of the first at the time and a full-length sunroof. The XJ was ahead of its time and was both luxurious and fast with a 5-litre V8. The XF refresh in 2015 and the introduction of the Jaguar XE meant that Jaguar had a strong lineup against the Mercedes C-Class and E-Class. They even introduced an electric SUV called the I-Pace. The I-Pace was way ahead of its time as that's what manufacturers are still trying to introduce nowadays. They also introduced the F-Pace in 2015 and the E-Pace in 2017 to complete their lineup of SUVs. Jaguar now had a strong lineup against the Germans in every shape. They built a good foundation to fight against the Germans. After Jaguar's peak in 2017 and 2018, they were hit with huge decline in sales. The XE started to lag behind their rivals with the facelifts of the 3 Series and C-Class. The XF didn't stand out and the I-Pace failed to keep up with Tesla Model X's and Y's. Once again, Jaguar was lacking behind in innovation. They gave themselves good foundations with ahead of its time technology on the XJ and I-Pace and failed to improve it and keep up with its competitors. The XE's facelift in 2019 looked like a copy of the interior of the XJ in 2010. In 2023, Jaguar sold a third of its vehicles than in 2018. The brand seemed to have lost its direction completely and their reputation wasn't as high as it was before. Jaguar has now introduced a new logo and motto. They have also introduced a new concept car. They are planning to scrap all their current cars for the all-electric lineup. They're aiming for the high-end market of cars above £100,000. The question is, are they too late to the market? Their rebrand has caused a lot of controversy. We'll have to wait and see if Jaguar gets it right with their new rebrand and refresh, or if it'll be a complete flop. Will history repeat itself?